So, but that kind of goes into our next one, like, do credentials matter? You know, credentials being, a degree or like training certifications of sort. There are so fucking many certifications you can get. It is unbelievable.
And with that one too, we had 75% of people said that they do, and 25% of people say that they don't.
Right.
So, and I kind of think to start this one off, just because higher education for within, we'll just say degrees, within training, I don't think is necessary. Like a 4-year degree, 2-year degree within like training, it's fucking helpful. And like a lot of the stuff that I learned in like school regarding anatomy and physiology and kinesiology is the reason why I am as good as I am with my eye.
For sure.
And helping with form. But
it's not a necessity.
It's not a necessity. It's not at all. Like, just because somebody has a degree or just because somebody has a certification doesn't automatically mean that they know what they're talking about.
No,
if I'm going to take somebody who has had 10 plus years like coaching people or doing it themselves and has like knows the ins and outs of whatever area that I want to go into versus somebody that has a degree in it and a certification in it just recently and just finished their, a certification or their 4-year degree, 2-year degree, whatever, I'm going to go with the person with more experience. Because to me, experience is more. But I also think...
You're going with the combination rather than just the learned experience is what you're going with. You're going with somebody who has both.
Right. Well, I mean, if I'm going to look at both of them, like as individuals, like some person who has a lot of experience may not have certifications, but they have a lot of experience. And somebody who just has certs and degrees, I'm going to go with the person with more experience, period. Like, I think I just am just because they know the field, they've lived it, they've experienced it, they may have worked with people. I mean, if they're in there for a long time,
I think,
yes. But
I think there's a ton
an
of
asterisk.
Well, there's a ton of like things to unload there,
well,
right?
Yeah.
Just because somebody's worked in the industry for 10 years doesn't mean that they're good. It means that they can write 10 years on their resume.
Well, I know.
They could suck really badly and
they could suck really
and they
badly.
could be
You're right.
really, really great salesmen. We have seen this before. So I think I think it's if you were to pick two of those, like between those two, you can't because you don't know the full story.
Well, yes, I definitely agree with you, but I think at the same time, like
you're giving people the benefit of the doubt that they aren't scummy, they aren't salesmen, that they are actually trying, they are actually good, upstanding human beings
that aren't just trying to make a
quick buck.
Right. But because I think because there are a lot of people who I think have a lot of experience in the field, like powerlifting, bodybuilding. I'm not going to touch on nutrition right now because you should have a degree. You should. Like, period.
There are some things
point blank. That's
that
it.
require a certain level of education.
Understanding and higher level understanding and education within something.
Right.
But, so we're going to leave nutrition out of this for the time being. Because that could be a whole different podcast.
We're basically talking about a coach or a trainer in fitness, not necessarily like health, wellness, the umbrella, just like in, the physical,
but
sense.
Because there are a lot of people who have a lot of experience. I think about this in like the powerlifting realm, even bodybuilding, and actually in probably every single aspect of fitness. There's going to be somebody who doesn't have any certifications, who doesn't have any degrees, but has been in it for 20 plus years,
for sure.
And I see sometimes with a lot of these people teaching and continuing to uphold things that are harmful.
For sure.
Like,
well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, right? Because let's just say person A and person B both have been in there for 20 years. Neither one of them have like degrees or certifications. One of them is very active in like looking at new like research, like studying on their own.
Right. Continuing education.
Without getting the certification, without getting the credential for it, but staying up to date on new exercises, on like new science, new studies of like how the human body works, etc.
Right.
And somebody else
Programming,
and
right.
person B has been in there for 20 years, and they've just been upholding what they learned day one.
Squat,
And
sticking your butt out.
Well, and
you
it's
know,
because
like,
they learned it from previous. So
deadlift with your back.
Right. So person A and person B, although they might be there, they might have the same exact amount of credentials, years of experience, they could have two very different philosophies.
For sure.
And I think that's where, that's where like a huge discrepancy could come in. And again, that's why it's good, consumers beware, like ask these questions, be ready to ask these questions, because you are the person that is trying to be helped here. This
right.
is a service
it's your
you are
choice.
buying.
It is your choice on what you want to like buy,
right.
Consume. Like, this is your body, this is your health, this is
your emotional well-being,
right. So many other things go in. The relationship that you build with a coach or a trainer is unlike anything else. I've met some phenomenal...
It's like a barber. Whenever I had hair, you know what I'm saying? You go in there, it's like that relationship.
Probably, but I think you see trainers more often. And coaches more often.
It depends.
Sure. But I you're a dork.
You know what I'm talking. You've never been a young man who gets his hair cut every 10 days, You don't
need your hair cut that often.
I don't have much hair anymore. I cut it myself.
That is wild. I don't think my brother gets his hair cut every 10 days.
Well, he was not that styling. He had a mullet at one point in his life, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, dude.
He did. He was cute.
Anyways, back to it.
But no, the relationship that you build
yes.
with your coach or your trainer is unlike anything else. So it's something to make sure that you're comfortable with them and that they, you trust in them. It's not, they're not just blowing smoke up your ass to like make a quick buck. And like, I hope people are able to see that. And I know it's harder right now because with social media, this is one of the things that I think I took away from this poll, was how much social media has changed the fitness industry and coaches, personal trainers, all of that stuff, and how we present ourselves. But I think we can go
it's manipulated it because and I think unfortunately.
Well, that goes into the next one. That goes into our next.
Let me get this thought out and then we'll go.
Yeah.
But I think unfortunately, in the as a coach, as a trainer, like you do have to hustle, right? Like
for sure.
How hard you work is how hard like you get, like clients and trainers or I mean clients, athletes. But I think now is kind of hard because you're not able to like walk the floor and have like relationships with people. So
or if you're doing it on your own,
right?
Like
if you're doing it on your own, like it's really challenging because like for us, we're not ones to put ourselves out there and like sell our services. It's really word of mouth.
Right.
And like that's how we want it to be.
We're good at what we do, and we know that
right.
we're good at what
I'm not gonna go out there and sell my service. Like that's just not something that we've done.
Right.
Because like I'm not a salesperson. I am a health professional. I am a health and fitness professional.
You moved out of that
like
a while back.
Right. That's the thing. But I could see, kind of like my old self whenever you were, you had floor hours when you were working in the commercial gym and you had to get out there and be like, all right, well, I talked to X amount of people. Like, I have X amount of, consults coming up. It is a sales led industry because that's how you make your money. That's how you make your living. That's how you put food on your table.
For sure, pay your bills. Like that's how you pay your bills.
So
I don't think. That's the crazy thing with me is that where I worked at, that wasn't required for us. We didn't have to walk the floor. I came from a much
scummier gym.
Oh, for sure. I'm very grateful for who I started with and where I started because I think it helped a lot. But I didn't have to do that. And I got a lot of my clientele from other people watching me train, free consultations that we would offer, and the classes that I teach.
Right.
The classes that I teach was probably the biggest one that I did.
For sure.
Like that was my biggest source of getting people to see who I was as a coach, as a trainer.
The passion, the energy that you brought. I didn't have that opportunity.
Right.
Right. So
Yours was very much sales.
It's and again, that's, you know, different. We had different experiences in our young upbringing, being, you know, a personal trainer.
And also, we didn't have social media as that. Like, when we were there, like, I mean,
Facebook was definitely there. Like, we were able to, like, share
there
things.
Was MySpace. There was
not where it is now.
Oh, I mean, Instagram was kind of, but I think Instagram wasn't a place for, like, Fitspo, like, hashtag, like, whatever. No, it was not that place when we had first started. Not even a little bit.
Right.
So I think social media has completely clouded. It's helped in some things, but it has also clouded and made, in my opinion, the fitness industry so fucking toxic.
It really
is, fucking toxic.
You can listen to our previous podcast, The Dark Side of Fitness. We talk pretty in depth